Hello everyone, welcome to Narayana online classes. We are going to be practicing some basic questions on matrices and determinants, especially questions on special types of matrices. Alright, let's start. First question. A square matrix Aij in which Aij is equal to 0 for I is not equal to j and Aij is equal to k constant for I equal to j is what? Alright. So, let us take an example, right, of Aij 3 cross 3, alright, because we need a square matrix. The question says that Aij is 0 whenever I is not equal to j, right? So, I is not equal to j meaning all the elements that are not there in the diagonal, all the non-diagonal elements are 0, right? So, all the non-diagonal elements are 0 and all the diagonal elements, right? Aij is equal to k whenever I equal to j. So, all the diagonal elements are k. What is this an example of? A scalar matrix, correct? So, clearly this is a scalar matrix. Alright. Now, even if it is not a 3 cross 3, even if it is 4 cross 4 or other orders, we know they will all be scalar matrices only. Alright. Okay. Next question. A square matrix A is said to be nilpotent of index m if A raised to m equal to 0. Now, if for this A, I minus A the whole raised to n is equal to I plus A square and so on up to A raised to m minus 1, then n is equal to what? Alright. So, the question itself is giving you the definition of nilpotent matrix, right. So, it is given that matrix A is nilpotent of order of index m. Index m, that is, we know that A raised to m equal to 0, mark it as 1, and this given expression, right, the RHS, let us take it to be some matrix B, right. So, let B is equal to, in fact, let us write it in the next line. Let B be this entire sum, right, I plus A square up to A raised to m minus 1, right. Now, if I multiply this with A, right, so this would imply B into A would be what? It would be A plus A square and so on up to A raised to m. Can you see most of the matrices that are here will also be here? Which ones will not be there? I will not be here, and also A raised to m is not here, but it has appeared now, correct? So, if I subtract, right, subtracting will get what? B minus BA is equal to B minus BA is equal to, you see all the A and A square and all will get cancelled. We are only left with I minus A raised to m, right. Mind you, I know you have not done multiplication of matrices, but understand that what we are doing here, it doesn't expect you to understand how multiplication itself works, right. So, we are, without going into the details of multiplication, we are trying to look at some interesting behavior of nilpotent matrix, right. Okay. So, B minus BA is equal to, rest of the matrices will get cancelled, we will only have I minus A raised to m, right. But by definition A raised to m is 0, right. So, but A raised to m equal to 0, this is from 1, which means what? Which means B minus BA is actually only I, right. Now, we will take B common here How that works, again, you will understand over time. But here, think of this, when we are dealing with numbers, you put 1 here. So in matrices, we will put I when taking any number common, right? That's what you do. So in matrices, we will, instead of 1, we will put I. Now B into I minus A is equal to I. Now again, if these were numbers, then do you realize that you will call these two numbers as reciprocals, right? So matrices, it is not exact but somewhat similar. We have a concept called as inverse, which we will study about it later. But whenever two matrices multiply in a way that you get identity later, then those two matrices are called as inverses of each other. Alright, so from here an inverse is written as I minus A raised to minus 1. Okay, so even though you have not studied inverses, there is a whole mathematics behind it which we will get into later. But now all you need to understand is their product is I. Therefore one is inverse of the other. And anyway the question is asking us I minus A, right? This is given out to be I minus A raised to n in the question itself, right? This was given to us. Therefore, we will say n is equal to minus 1, right? N equal to minus 1. So, without going into the details of multiplication or inverses, we are just trying to explore the behavior of these kind of matrices, alright? Here we looked at a nilpotent matrix, okay? Alright? Okay, then let us proceed. If B is an idempotent matrix and A is equal to I minus B, then AB is equal to what? Okay, so we have B is an idempotent matrix, right? So B is idempotent, which means by definition B square equal to B, right? Let's call it 1. And A is equal to I minus B. It is given, right? Which means multiplying on the right side by B. What is this right side? Again, you will understand it when we go into the details of multiplication of matrices. Right now you should just understand that we're just multiplying on right side by B. So AB, we get AB is equal to I into B will be B itself by definition of identity matrix, and B into B is B square, right? But the question, B is idempotent, so we know B square equal to B, right? So then this becomes 0 from 1, right? Therefore AB is equal to 0. The question is just asking about AB only, right? Interesting property by idempotent matrix. Alright? Okay, let us proceed then. The matrices 2 0 0 2 0 0 0 0 and minus 1 0 0 0 minus 1 0 0 0 minus 1 are all examples of which kind of a matrix. Now let us look at each of them carefully. The one in the middle is clearly null matrix, but what about the other two? This one, it has diagonals 2 2 and every other element is 0. Similarly, the third one, its diagonal is minus 1 and every other element is 0. Now if you follow that property here also, the diagonal is the same element in the middle one and the rest of the elements are 0. Now each of these, which kind of a matrix follows that property? Scalar matrix. Only in a scalar matrix, all the diagonal matrices should be, all the diagonal elements should be some constant and the rest of the elements should be 0, right? So these are all examples of a scalar matrix, right? Why? Because in a scalar matrix, Aij, right? Let's say n cross n. What is the definition? Aij, the element would be 0 whenever I is not equal to j and it is some constant k for I is equal to j, right? Where k is some real number. Got it? Those are scalar matrices. Yeah? Okay. So following that, all of them will fall in this definition. Therefore, it is a scalar matrix. Next, the matrices 1, 1 0 0 1, 1 0 0, 0 1 0, 0 0 1 are all examples of. Now this one, directly by looking at it, you can tell it is an identity matrix. This one also is an identity matrix. This one, it will also follow the rules of an identity matrix, because what is the rule? All the diagonal elements should be 1, everything else should be 0. So clearly they are all identity matrices, right? Why? What is the definition? Identity matrix Aij, let's say n cross n, would be such that Aij equal to 1 whenever I is equal to j, if I equal to j, and it is 0 if I is not equal to j. So you see, all the three are following this rule, therefore they are all identity matrices. Alright? Okay, their order may be different. For example, this is identity matrix of order 1, identity matrix of order 2, order 3. Alright? Okay. The matrices 0 0 0 0, 0 0 0 0, etc. are all examples of. Here, no need to write a definition also, because when all the elements are 0, we know it is a null matrix by definition, right? So, just for the sake of completion, null matrix Aij, here it need not always be a square matrix, would be such that Aij is equal to 0 for all I and j, right? That is a null matrix. Alright. The matrix 1 3 minus 2 is a dash matrix of order dash. Now, in this matrix 1 3 minus 2, how many rows do we have? 1 row. How many columns? 3 columns. So since there is only 1 row, this is a row matrix, right? 1 3 minus 2 is a row matrix, because it has only 1 row, and of order, what is the order? Number of rows 1, number of columns 3. So of order 1 cross 3. So this one. Yeah? Alright. The matrix 2 1 is a dash matrix of order dash. So 2 1 is a, what kind of a matrix? It is a column matrix. Matrix because it has 1 column and 2 rows. Alright? Of order, how many rows? 2 rows, 1 column. So 2 cross 1. Yes? So it is a column matrix of order 2 cross 1. Okay? Alright. A square matrix is upper triangular if. Alright. So we need to find the rule for a square matrix to be an upper triangular matrix. So let us take an example. Let A 3 by 3 be, so we need an upper triangular matrix, which means if these are the diagonal elements, all the elements to left and below the diagonal should be 0, right? And the rest of the elements that I am putting it as dash, they can be any numbers, whether it is 0 or non-zero, doesn't matter. These need to be 0. How do we put it in a rule, right? So this is the matrix Aij such that Aij equal to 0. How do we, what is the notation we use for these elements? Look at this element. This element is A21, right? This element is A31. This one is A 3, 2. So in each of these elements, the row number is bigger than the column number, right? Which means Aij equal to 0 whenever I is greater than j, right? The row index is greater than the column index. So this is the rule we are looking for. So a square matrix is upper triangular if Aij equal to 0 for all I greater than j. Yes? Got it? Now whatever I have put as dash, those can be 0 or non-zero, doesn't matter. Alright? Okay. Let us proceed then. The matrices 1 0 0, 0 1 0, 2 0 1, 1 0 2 3 are examples of. Alright, looking at the first one, you may be tempted to say identity matrix. Don't do that because there is a 2 also there somewhere outside the diagonal. Now the common property in both of them is that beyond the diagonal on the right and above you only have zeros in this one as well as in this one, right? So what is this an example of? Right? Here if Aij is the matrix, then Aij is such that it is 0 whenever the row index is smaller than the column index. Correct? Here the first row but second column, first row and third column. So if I is less than j, this is a definition of both matrices are lower triangular. Lower triangular. Yeah? Got it? Okay. Alright then, let us proceed. Okay, we have already seen this just now. The determinant of an idempotent matrix cannot be. Alright, so we have an idempotent matrix and we need to look at its determinant. Now I know that we have not gone into the how is a determinant defined, etc. But I know that you understand basics of a determinant. You may have used it in physics or you may have seen it earlier. So you know at least what is a determinant, right? So we will start with the definition. By definition of idempotent matrix, we know A square equal to A, right? A square equal to A. Now we are going to use a property of determinant that again without going into the details of the multiplication behind it, we are now going to use a property of determinant which is determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. Okay, mod AB is equal to mod A into mod B. So here we will say mod A square, so which is mod of A into A is equal to mod A into mod A, correct? But for an idempotent matrix, A square is A, right? In fact, we will just apply in 1, right? In 1, now if we just apply determinants on both sides, mod of A into A is equal to mod A, correct? Now if we apply that rule here, this becomes mod of A into A, it becomes mod A into mod A, that is mod A square equal to mod A, right? So now since you know that determinant is actually a number, it's always a single number, from this we can claim that mod A must be 1 or 0, correct? Mod A square is mod A, you just bring the mod A here, so mod A into mod A minus 1 is 0, which means mod A must be 0 or 1. Strictly 0 and 1 are the only numbers which when squared will give you the same value. So mod A can be 1 or 0, which means it cannot be minus 1. Alright, it cannot be minus 1. Okay, so that is idempotent matrix. Next we have involutory matrix, right? So by definition of involutory matrix, we know A square equal to I, right? Again, by properties of determinants, which property? Same property. By property of determinants, that mod AB is equal to mod A into mod B. If I apply that here, from 1 and let us mark this as 2, apply this rule here, mod of A into A is mod of I, and we know determinant of an identity matrix is 1. How do we know that? Because we know, you know how to expand the determinant, right? You would have used it in physics somewhere. So just 1 1 1 when everything else is 0, so 1 1 1 multiplied will give you 1 only, right? If you are not entirely clear, take it as a property. When we get to determinant, you will understand why mod I is 1. So mod of A into A is 1, which means mod A square is 1, right? Now if mod A square is 1, we can say mod A is plus or minus 1, right? Which means for an involutory matrix, its determinant should be plus or minus 1, which means it cannot be 0. Correct? It cannot be 0. Alright? Okay, let us proceed then. The period of an involutory matrix. Alright? Now, let us first write for a periodic matrix. What is a periodic matrix? Of period of a periodic matrix of period K, let's say, of period K will follow which rule? A raised to K plus 1 should give me A, right? This is the definition of a periodic matrix. Now, for an involutory matrix, A, we know that A square equal to I, right? Here if I multiply with A, we will get A cube is equal to A, correct? Now match that with this, comparing 1 and 2. Here we had A raised to K plus 1 equal to A, there we have A cube equal to A, therefore K is 2, right? K is 2, that is period is 2. Yeah? Got it? Okay, then let us proceed. The period of an idempotent matrix. Alright, the period of an idempotent matrix. Once again, a periodic matrix of period K. What does it look like? A raised to K plus 1 is equal to A, right? So here we know that for an idempotent matrix, we have A square equal to A, right? This is the definition of an idempotent matrix. Now we directly match this 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, clearly K plus 1 is 2, therefore K equal to 1 is the period. So period is 1 itself. Correct? Which means every time you multiply, you will get the same matrix. Alright? So that is the period of an idempotent matrix. Alright? So we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.